how I miss my Call of Duty 4. You know, I play it still quite often. I play that and Modern Warfare 2. And lately I've been trying to play free-for-all in all 4 games since Call of Duty 4. So, you know, Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, and then Black Ops. Yes, even though I don't like Black Ops, I still play in it. I just suck it up and get in there. The biggest thing too is when I'm playing these games is the adjustment period. There is actually an adjustment period between, like, differences between the games where you gotta change how you play, aiming, all of that stuff here. So I'm gonna try and mix it up. For the most part, I'm sticking with my camping. I don't care. I'll just call it camping. Now, it's important, again, when you're doing this, you know, I don't even know if actually this one here I'm camping necessarily, because I know the map so well in Call of Duty 4 that, you know, I think I can show you some routes or whatever that will help you out. For the most part, though, if you're an experienced Call of Duty gamer, regardless as to what you know, game it is that you're playing on, whether it's Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2 or whatever, camping pisses you off. I get it. I understand that. I mean, most of you don't like it, and you don't need to do that because you know the maps, because you know how the game plays, and so forth and so forth. And so camping to you seems counterproductive. But people that are new to these games, you know, camping in strategic areas, I'm not talking about sitting in, you know, in an alleyway and getting one kill and then having to move and doing that again. I'm talking about camping in strategic areas where you're going to be able to win the game. And it's not just that. I mean, once you're more skilled and familiar with the maps, you're going to start moving. You're not going to want to sit in one spot the way that I show you. You're not going to want to do that because it does get boring. But the main point is that if you go right away, if new people that are new to Call of Duty just jump right in and start running around without knowing where they're going, without knowing how Call of Duty players, or gamers rather, for the most part, the average gamer, thinks and moves around this game, they're going to get owned. And the problem is that, you know, I think most of the run and gunners are selfish pricks. All they do is they want all these newbies and the less skilled players to simply be, you know, fodder. Basically, they just want their pad their kill-death ratio. And so they're like, oh, don't camp, blah, 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 because they just want to run around and own people. And because their reaction speeds are probably better, because they know where people go through, they're going to own those newbies, you know, the people that are new to these games, right off the bat. And so what I provide them is with an alternative. And granted, don't do this all the time, but until you're familiar with you know, Call of Duty and in particular the maps, I provide you with areas in the maps that can definitely help you, you know, win games. Now in here, I'm not actually, what I'm showing you here, obviously using the P90 here, is I'm not staying in one particular area. Am I going to actually be able to kill that guy? I'm showing you the difference. I mean, for the average gamer coming in here that doesn't know what they're doing, they're not going to be able to come in, no matter what I tell them tactically, they're not going to be able to come into a game like this and do what I'm doing. They're not going to be able to do that, number one, because they don't know the maps that well. I cannot teach that. They've got to have familiarity with the actual maps before they can run around and just kill people. I'm actually staying in well-known transition areas because I know where the spawn areas are. I know where people actually spawn. Like when I was looking down there, that's a known spawn area. And I know this is a huge, busy area. And again, where I'm looking at right now, a lot of people coming through here. Very, very dangerous because there's spawn areas just on the other side and to the left where I was looking. So you got to be careful of that. And this type of gameplay is not, I repeat, is not effective, nor is it reasonable to assume or to expect people that are beginners or even intermediates to be able to just run around and own people. Yes, it's a lot of fun, and you will get better at it, but until you know the maps, this all you're doing is giving the big people, the ones that complain about campers and everything like that, all you're doing is giving them more kills and making them look like beasts, rather than showing them what idiots they are, because quite frankly, their game relies on the fact that they're faster, not that they're smarter than you, but that they're faster in terms of, you know, response. They see you on a 1v1 situation, boom, they've got a fast reaction. This is why typically I've always stuck with Search and Destroy and avoided playing games like Deathmatch or Free-for-All, because Search and Destroy for the most part, relies on strategy. And this is why we started NextGenTactics. We started it based on search and destroy because we would dominate on it. And Spider-Bite and my playstyle was complementary. He was a run and gunner, I was a camper. I would set up defenses, he would go and rush toward, and we would go in sync. Like, we would head in the same direction, and it would just work out beautifully. But in free-for-all, you don't have that opportunity. No one's on your side. So I believe I'm going to be doing more of a camping style here. This is Modern Warfare 2. The previous one was Call of Duty 4. And I'm going to be using the FAL, which is semi-automatic. Nice and accurate. Again, the semi-automatic weapons in Modern Warfare 2, way better. I mean, Black Ops totally ruined them. They put that friggin' the firing lock on it so that if you fire too fast, it locks up on you. And if you've never had that problem, that's because you don't fire too fast. Because it happens to me every single time I play, either on PS3 or Xbox. It will lock up on me whenever I use the FAL. Is it the FAL? Yeah, the FAL on Black Ops, or even the M14. Constant lockup. If I fire slowly, no problem. But when I do my trigger finger, and I'm known for a fast trigger finger, it locks up. So here's a typical situation. And when you're doing camping, number one, if you want to win the games when you're camping, and not just sort of like, hey, I got a couple of kills, because really that's not the objective. The objective, despite anyone that says, you know, hey, you're going to have fun. Believe me, you're going to have fun because you're going to be very, very active. But what you're going to want to have on is claymores. These games always have claymores or some sort of, you know, in World at War it was bouncing betties. They will always have proximity type explosive devices. I know people are like, oh, what are you going to do when the claymores aren't there? Claymores are going to be there. I mean, wake up. What are you, new to Call of Duty? People that think that obviously are either new or just, again, babies getting, you know, exploded by claymores. They're always going to be there. Suck it up. That's just the way it is. And I'm talking about public matches, not competitive. Competitive matches, obviously they take it out for a reason. You know, they're there to promote more action. Oh, this is such a fail. Look at that. You talk about me not, and that's a typical position. I mean, that's me getting stung by my own. He may have spawned there though, I'm not sure, but the bottom line was he was in a position, and where he was, by the way, was stupid. Unless he was, I'm assuming he spawned in there because it doesn't make sense for him to do that. If you're gonna camp a building like this one here, and I wish I had my claymore. Do I have my claymore? I think right now I'm just sort of clearing it out. This is a perfect, this building in the middle, that's exactly where you want to put that claymore. Put it down at the bottom of the stairs, and I use scavenger so that I seal myself in. There's only 2 ways in, and I will use my claymore. Sometimes I will get 50% of my kills, especially in search, just claymores alone. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely insane, and that's what a lot of people do complain about that. Nonetheless, I did die with the claymores there, but that setup there that I showed you, one on the back, kill someone, put it on the front, and then basically with scavengers, as they die, all you're doing is replacing it. Now, to camp in areas like the building I'm in is actually a brilliant location because you can control. There's only one access point to this second level, which is the stairway here. So if you actually go up that stairwell, which I don't even know if I do this in this game here. Oh, I do. Look at that. It's my instinct to camp. Put the claymore in the corner there, and then basically those areas that I'm looking at right now, those are all spawn areas. I don't even know if I think he's hiding back there. And plus my aim was horrible on that. But any area, you don't want to necessarily just camp in any building. Camping in any building is going to get you a few kills, and that's about it, and then you're going to have to move. Now you see what I did there? That's part of camping strategy. You see how instead of putting the claymore up at the top of the stairs, I put it down sort of midway. And what happens is it's the same individual, if he's a run-and gunner, and he's like all pissed off, because this is what happens, and this is why they whine and complain all the time. They'll come in, they'll get killed by the claymore, they'll run back in again, just like running into a house on fire, and they'll assume the claymore's in the same spot or the claymore's gone altogether. By switching up the position of the claymore, what happens is, I think I nail this guy. Do I nail him? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. By switching it up, you know, they naturally go in thinking it's going to be in the same spot. So they run up to the point where the claymore is now on the stairs, and it usually will kill somebody. And then all you do is you keep varying it up. Now this location here, because I'm going back to it, And of course, I sound whore. Another big thing, huge part of this game, especially search and destroy, or this type of, you know, I'm going to call it camping strategy in any buildings. Now, I'm hearing him. That's why, if you're wondering why I'm actually sort of staying back, is just like that. The reason being is because I sound whore. Which, you know, some people don't like. Well, suck it up. If you can't afford it, I can afford a good headset. A lot of people are getting headsets. Headsets are coming down. There's no excuse. It's not like, oh, well, you're privileged, blah, blah, blah. Get a good headset in these games. If you want to get really good at them, you're going to want a good... Oh, that was close. You're going to want a good headset. I mean, you have surround sound in these games. And believe me, when you can hear your opponents, it helps out tremendously. Tremendously in terms of your game. And you're going to be able to hear them and do exactly what I did. Anticipate that they're coming. And it's gonna allow you to actually excel in games. And I think I get I'm pretty sure they go. There we go. Look at this. I get ripped off on my Predator, which is rancid. And then we get host migration. But the nice thing is the host migration works. It was such a nice addition when they did that in Modern Warfare 2 and continued it in Black Ops. I'm not sure if any of you have come across issues with Black Ops. In all honesty, I hardly played anymore. But I know that the host migration, for the most part, worked very well in Modern Warfare 2. And I love the fact that it's here. Look at this. I get ripped off on my friggin' Predator. Kind of sucks. But this is a great place here. If you ever play in this match, in this map, whatever, you want to get in buildings that obviously are second floor. That's very important. Not just ground level. Ground level ones are a little bit more dangerous. You can still do it, but it's more effective to be on higher ground. And what happens is you want it sort of in areas that surround spawn areas. That's a spawn area, that's a spawn area, and then the spawn area in the back there. That's a big spawn area as well. And that's why I choose these areas. These are strategic. You will not be sitting there waiting for someone to run by. You will be actively killing people. And yeah, you know, I guess it's a form of spawn trapping to a certain degree, but you're not just going to be looking in one area. You have to be on your toes in this game, even when you're doing a camping strategy that I'm showing you. You have to, because you got to constantly be replacing claymores or listening, because in Black Ops you don't have that ability. You got one claymore, so you need to place it in a proper spot, in an effective spot, and then be aware of the other access points, and be aware of where they typically will come in from, and you'll be able to dominate. It's not that hard. It's not hard, and it's not that you're only going to get 1 or 2 kills. But remember, if you're well versed in the maps, which means, you know, you really know them well, you know where people hide, you know where campers are. I mean, I'm showing you that. But my strategy with camping, you know, it's not so easy. It's not like finding me in a closet or whatever, because I constantly have run-and gunners coming after me, trying to own me, and it doesn't always work out so well with them. But if you're starting off, it's a great strategy. And run-and gunners hate it, so I love it as well. Peace.